Small and medium-sized enterprises in Cameroon still face the challenge of funding. Madam, there is a solution to that, and my guest on the program is Madam Viola Llewellyn. Yeah, she is the Global Chief Operations Officer of Ovamba. Ovamba is a funding solution maybe for small and medium-sized enterprises and social economy in the country. General Manager of Ovamba Cameroon Solutions. Thanks, Madam, and welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Now, Ovamba, well, maybe we should probably start on a very smart note. Tell us about Ovamba very briefly before we come to the solutions that you have.
Certainly. Ovamba is a US-based company that does financial technology to enable the access of credit and funding to small and medium enterprise companies in the CIMAC region and Africa at large.
Okay. And now you are into Cameroon, and probably you've had information about the difficulties small and medium-sized enterprises face to access loans with classical banks. How ready are you to assist SMEs, especially as Cameroon is into giant projects, with the vision of Vision 2035?
Certainly. We're more than ready in that we've been doing this now successfully for more than a year, starting out in Douala with a Cameroon, CIMAC and Pan-African focus and a plan for expansion. And as opposed to only working towards those projects that are of a giant nature, private-public partnerships, we're more interested in the expansion of the middle class by funding the needs of the small and medium enterprises that are involved in local business, importing, exporting, customs clearance, expansion, capital expenditure.
And when you look at the banks, how different is maybe the solutions that you provide with maybe what the classical banks provide?
Certainly. The fact that we're a financial technology company means that we've found different ways in which we can credit and underscore Cameroonian and African businesses using metrics and activities and information that are very germane to culture, tribe, region, and their current activities. On top of that, we are not a deposit taker, we're not a bank. Our ability to score a customer and give them a credit decision in 60 seconds, followed by a very fast and speedy, efficient funding within, I'd say, 3 to 7 days, providing all documentation is there, makes us very distinct from the banks. We work on the basis of speed, efficiency, accuracy, and the ability to encourage repeat business with them. You don't need to be a member of anything to have financing from.
Guarantees? Are you sure you have guarantees? Because we know there are a lot of delinquent, clients. Is it easy?
It isn't easy, but the methods that we use have made us, I think, our delinquency is far, far lower than the average norm. In fact, if you speak to any of our international investors, they may even tell you that it was very surprising that we could predict defaults as well as we've been able to. All of our loans are secured. There is collateral, but unlike the banks, we're able to be very flexible and creative with the type of collateral that we take. It's not just all about land title.
Now, the regulations, maybe, are they favorable for Ovamba to do business in Cameroon, to bring investors, more investors, and encourage small and medium-sized enterprises?
It's a little bit difficult if you do not understand how the setup works. And I must admit, when myself and my co-partner Marvin Cole came into Cameroon, we didn't have a full understanding. But the strength that we have is our ability to creatively move around the objects and find partners with the microfinance institutions and some of our consultants to help guide us. We've been able to bring quite a number of foreign investors to join us on this journey. And it's truly been a case of challenging some of the regulation and the taxation base in order to arrive at a conclusion where everybody gets to win.
And have you been able to carve a niche within the sub-region, talking about Gabon, Congo, Equatorial, the CIMAC region as a whole?
Well, as you know, Cameroon is literally the gateway to the CIMAC region.
Yeah.
And by operating here, we take advantage of the cross-border business that goes on in this general region. And the fact that we're a technology-based company means that our geographic location becomes irrelevant. So we do get inquiries from all of these areas, and as we begin to push the boundaries of what the CIMAC region will allow in terms of financing, we believe that we'll be able to service all of these regions from just a few key satellite areas.
And what would you like maybe the government to know, or those regulators to know, maybe the regulators in Cameroon and Africa to know, to understand when it comes to doing business?
We'd like them to understand that the status quo doesn't have to stay the status quo, and that there is a space and a place for technology to be the driver of GDP across a number of industries.
Yeah.
We'd also like them to know that by bringing in foreign investors, and Americans especially, who've been missing from the lineup up until now, we're creating an ecosystem for very friendly, competitive activity. It's an era where the sharing economy allows everybody to win. Ovamba's presence in the market acts as an enabler. The technologies that we've produced, both for treasury management for these traditional banks you mentioned, and for our borrowers to be able to access capital, is a portent that is very, very good. There are those who are usually rather scared of change, but I think that we bring the power of the diaspora and the technologies from abroad, and we sit ourselves culturally where we're not a problem to the area, we are enablers.
And Viola Llewellyn.
Llewellyn.
Okay, come on. Now, doing business report has not been favorable, on the part of Cameroon. Many investors have been coming, they have been scouting for opportunities, but you came scouted and you remain. So are you like saying that the climate is favorable?
Not only is the climate...
Ovamba anyway.
Yeah, the climate is more than favorable, but I also want to address something very interesting you just said. Many investors have come and left because they're looking for the wrong things in the wrong places.
Okay.
I have often said, as I've led trade missions into Cameroon and out of Cameroon, along with AmCham, that go and find business partners who like you as a person, who want to do business with you as a human being. There are many mistakes that foreign investors make thinking that you can only do business in Africa if you know the president or the prime minister. You don't see Africans going to America and saying, I'm only going to speak to Joe Biden. That's not going to happen. Be realistic. Marvin and myself and Bob Sheahan and all the other investors knew that we needed to find a way to fix problems. Choose the issues where most people want to run away from them and make sound solutions. And don't approach investment into this region from a charitable standpoint. Be willing to make profit as it's sustainable. And so therefore the investment story that we've been telling is that there is a destination that is worth paying attention to here, and that is partnering with the middle class to help them build their lives into something that is globally acceptable and looks the same as what you would see in any other country. Emerging markets are a brilliant bet.
Now, Viola, lastly, before we pack out, as the Chief Global Operations Officer of Ovamba Cameroon, you are into business here in Douala.
Yep.
Do you intend to open an office in Yaoundé, for example, spread out your tentacles to Yaoundé and maybe other regions of Cameroon?
Sure. We are already very nicely entrenched with some of our partners in Yaoundé, Alpha Fund being one of them as well, and quite a number of them via our product iBank are beginning to find a way to partner with us across a number of areas. We will go where there is a business need. There is no area of Cameroon that we don't want to be in if we know that it's going to service our partners and our borrowers and our customers.
Well, I want to thank you graciously. I'll be expecting Bob Sheahan to join me on the program shortly. Maybe he's going to tell us more. And as an advisor, as board of advisor of Ovamba, where they are providing information technology to companies, to structures, to people in Cameroon in business. Thanks very much, and stay with me on the program. Welcome back. Like I announced on the program, I'm going to receive another person, of course, is Bob Sheahan, and he's the board of advisors of Ovamba, and it is, should I put it, an information technology solution for small and medium-sized enterprises and social economies. Bob, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Yeah. You are, what motivated you, first of all, to come to invest in Cameroon as an investor?
Well, my wife and I have been involved with the African continent for about 20 years, mainly through charitable organizations. And so for 20 years, we've kind of gone the route of helping one child at a time through school or the village and that sort of thing. But my travels and my business activities and then my travels around to other regions of the world, specifically South America, I discovered that by investing in the economy and bringing up the middle class, and growing the middle class of countries like Peru, for example, that it creates a lot of opportunity. And I applied that to Africa, saying, well, charity is one thing, and that's fine, but if we can invest and we can grow the small and medium enterprises, it will produce vast opportunities and lots of jobs for Cameroonians and Africans in general.
Now, some investors think Cameroon or Africa as a whole is unattractive. They consider it's an investment risk zone. We've seen many of them come and gone, but you still remain. Can you comment on that?
Well, I do believe that people don't understand Africa. Coming from the United States, unfortunately, the images that we see on our TV are that of extreme poverty, chaos, the wars, and things like that.
Yeah.
You really have to get into Africa to understand that there's great opportunity here, that people are warm, they're inviting, they're entrepreneurial, and if we can solve just some of the social issues, education and things like that, and then access to funds, which is what Ovamba is all about, access to capital, then there's it's a very fruitful area to invest in.
And you just talked about some people having the notion that, you know, I'm talking particularly about the West, that Africa is just all about war, chaos, you know, poverty and so on. Yes, we can come out of the poverty pangs. Are you like saying that they can bridge that gap, that poverty gap, and make people move as faster as economies are growing in Africa? Take the case of Nigeria, take the case of South Africa, they are fast growing, and even Rwanda, for example.
Well, I do believe that, again, by growing the middle class, and it's the same in the United States, most of our programs and our politics are centered around growing the middle class and helping the middle class.
Oh, interesting.
You got the very wealthy at the top, and you've got a lot of poverty. But as you grow the middle class expands, it creates opportunities for all sectors. And
you're struggling to bridge the gap. Now, what are the challenges that you face, like the advisor of Ovamba globally? What challenges do you face in Cameroon? Are they challenges? Are they very positive strides that you have made?
We've made a lot of positive strides, for sure. From my perspective, learning about the culture and the customs and the ways to do business and building the trust between human beings and people. You know, I like to do business with people that I like and I get to know. But some of the challenges that we've had are things like infrastructure, technology. I do believe that you know, that Cameroon and the African continent needs to invest in information technology infrastructure. That's my background, is information technology, in order to be able to become more part of the global economy. The second point is that I do also believe that there needs to be a paradigm shift in the way that the Cameroonians and the Africans think about business, and instead of just exporting all of the raw materials and the great assets that are here,
they can transform.
Okay, but building more of a manufacturing base within the African continent that will produce a lot more jobs and a lot more will remain in the continent. You know, become consumers of your own resources instead of just an exporter of resources.
And you're making me to think about, you know, the African Pacific Accord, where they are now forcing African countries to, you know, sign the accord, wherein you open all the boundaries. Now, you are the chief advisor of Ovamba from a global standpoint. Now, do you think the challenges of technology advancement in Africa maybe is hindering our development?
I do believe that. Communication is key to success, in whether it's between you and me or whether it's trying to do something across a technology platform. We need the infrastructure to be able to do that. And infrastructure is not just technology. Infrastructure are roads, so that the logistics of the materials and the raw goods and also the finished goods can be transported more easily to the ports for export.
I'll be coming back to you. Just time for us to have a break with this report. Well, welcome back. Bob Sheahan, we are dragging on closer to the end of our discussion. Now, I want to find out, like I asked Viola, many Americans, we don't hear much about Americans investing in Cameroon, and we know we have the American Chamber of Commerce Cameroon. What will you tell Americans who want to invest in Cameroon, in Africa, maybe globally?
I would say that it's a land of opportunity. There's great joy and great opportunity to be a part of a growing emerging economy. And I would say stop thinking about Africa in a strictly charitable sense. Africa and Cameroon in particular, very entrepreneurial. It is a growing economy. I've met several business people while I've been here that are importing tires, and therefore they're building on the infrastructure for trucks and logistics for movement of goods. Also, very interesting business lady I met yesterday actually has a quarry where they're producing things, and then they produce the concrete, but they're now actually producing the pavers for use and tiles for use here in Cameroon. And that's what I was talking about, build that manufacturing. So I would tell Americans that it's not all chaos and it's not what you see on the news.
On some news channels.
Yeah, it is. There's great opportunity here.
Okay, and maybe to those who want to use Ovamba solutions, what do you need to tell them? Those who want those small and medium-sized enterprises who will need Ovamba as partners, what do you have to tell them?
Come give us a try. We're ready to help in any way we can. It's a great platform. It's been proven. It streamlines the access to capital, which is the biggest hindrance that these small businesses have, and we're ready to help.
Oh, thanks very much, Bob, and we wish you well as you are in the right place, the world of opportunities. Do you have a direct website that we can contact you?
Ovamba. www.ovamba.com.
And so we can reach you there, and anybody who clicks to that website will probably find solutions to their problems, especially those who want to compete, as Cameroon has opportunities which are bound for SMEs. Thanks very much, Bob Sheahan, and congratulations to your efforts.
Thank you.
I'll be coming back.